How many people are fortunate enough to pursue their goals and become professional tennis players? WTA stars are reacting with pure jealousy to Alex Eala's new appearance, which recently went viral. Everyone is curious as to why the trip is now uncomfortable. Because the tennis world froze instead of merely staring at her when she appeared with that metamorphosis. It's one thing for a rising star to step into her radiance, but what if she steps into a level of confidence that puts the established hierarchy in jeopardy? At that point, admiration becomes jealousy. And rumors about her new appearance have already begun to circulate in the locker room shadows, posing a question that no one wants to address. Why are so many people bothered by her new appearance? The tale of Alex Eala was never meant to be typical. Not for a young athlete burdened by the expectations of a country, nor for a player whose path was shaped by discipline, hunger, and subdued defiance. However, all changed in 2025. Even the WTA veterans started to notice the change this year as Alex emerged from the shadows and entered the spotlight. Only a few months prior, Alex was simply referred to as the Filipina fighter, the adolescent with an unwavering baseline game and an unbreakable heart. Yes, she was rising, but she wasn't yet the name that reporters used to start news conferences. She wasn't yet the athlete whose appearance, rather than her forehand or footwork, could rock the tennis world, nor was she the player whose matches attracted thousands of unanticipated new fans. However, success has an impact on everyone who witnesses it, not just the person who achieves it. Alex had breakthrough performances during the 2024 to 2025 season, which caused observers to pause and gave fans hope that a change in women's tennis was imminent. Commentators likened her mental toughness to that of seasoned champions, and she had upsets against higher-ranked players as well as long, arduous matches when she overcame seemingly insurmountable deficits. She was changing, not just winning. And it wasn't limited to the court. Her fan base on social media skyrocketed. She gained confidence in her interviews. Her presence, gait, and demeanor started to resemble someone coming to terms with who she really was. The demands of junior tennis had long since subsided. All that was left was a young lady forming her identity. However, newly acquired confidence is frequently misinterpreted. Her admirers witnessed the blossoming of a champion. Those who were afraid of her ascent perceived a danger. Additionally, those who had previously occupied comfortable places in the hierarchy noticed a shift in their status. Because the rankings in women's tennis determine not just the order of play but also the order of sponsorships, influence, and attention. And everything is upset by a rising star. Eala had moved into a new stage in her profession by the beginning of 2025. She was now a contender, no longer the silent newcomer or the underdog. Young, captivating, and unstoppable. Her fan base became increasingly defensive. The curiosity of media outlets increased. The WTA locker room also became more perceptive. That's when it took place. One appearance, one post, one change. Suddenly, the tennis community came to a realization that they had never before truly accepted. It wasn't simply that Alex Eala was improving as a player. She was becoming into a presence that could change energy, attract enormous attention, and unnerve people, even established stars. One question loomed over the trip in silence as rumors about her newly discovered confidence started to circulate. When a new talent starts to shine in a way that is impossible to ignore, how will the WTA respond? Because the reactions weren't simply intense when her new appearance emerged. They had strong feelings. And they had just begun. It took place in silence. No announcement, no big debut, no news conference. Just a photo. A straightforward image. Posted in a matter of seconds, shared in a matter of minutes, and took over the tennis world in a matter of hours. Alex Eala entered the public spotlight with a very different appearance. The kind of metamorphosis that improved aura in addition to look. It wasn't coerced. It wasn't overdone. It was just different. More expressive, bold, and sharper. The internet went crazy when they saw someone boldly stepping into her confidence. Fan pages started reposting it in a matter of minutes. Fire emojis, shocked remarks, and encouraging messages swamped the comment sections. Glow Up was popular on several platforms. Her metamorphosis made news in the media. Her change was even compared to famous athlete reinventions on style-focused blogs. However, the public's response wasn't the true storm. The WTA was in charge. Players who had previously disregarded social media suddenly started using it a lot. Some people made remarks that were overly sweet, tasted like candy, and concealed sharpness. Some chose to remain silent, which in tennis circles frequently entails more than just posting nothing at all. However, a few hours later, a top-ranked gamer posted a mysterious story that made the tension clear. It's funny how everyone wants attention all of a sudden. She refrained from naming names. She was not required to. Fans made the connections right away. Similarities surfaced, conversations broke out, and conjecture lighted up the evening. Then another WTA player said, "Pay attention to tennis, not the glamour." A line that is sharp enough to cause bruises, yet simple enough to sound innocuous. People observed, conversed, and got into arguments. In professional sports, quiet frequently speaks louder than words, thus the players who observed in silence were the ones who truly changed the vibe. Silence might be interpreted as noticing, monitoring competition, or feeling uneasy. Without a doubt, Alex's new appearance demonstrated confidence in addition to beauty. Confidence that unnerved people who liked her as the unassuming newbie and reminded everyone that she wasn't just improving her game but also developing her identity. Confidence in the body of an athlete still climbing. The smallest signs of jealousy emerged. Likes that are passive-aggressive, comments that solely address one another without mentioning her, and little cliques sharing photos on the same day in an attempt to draw attention back to themselves. On a global scale, it was high school energy from mature professionals. But why was Alex's metamorphosis so painful? Because sportsmen use more than just serves and forehands to compete. They vie for attention, marketability, and popularity. And Alex had just taken a huge chunk of it without even trying. She was being celebrated on the internet. She was being highlighted by the media. Her supporters were standing up for her. The WTA in the locker room was unprepared for this. Whispers become conversations behind closed doors. Conversations became tense because, although some saw Alex's new appearance as powerful, others saw it as menacing, and they were ready to display it. The internet was exploding, not just reacting. Alex's new appearance quickly rose to the top of the tennis conversation. Sports journalists penned articles about athlete reinvention, fan edits swamped TikTok, and hashtags emerged. Although her confidence and shine were praised by spectators, WTA players had a mixed and loud response. A few celebrities openly endorsed her change. They said things like, "I love this move, Queen. You look good with confidence." However, fans soon recognized an oddity. Typically, there was no interaction between Alex and the players who left comments. Yes, it appeared kind, but it was a bit too calculated. It was almost as if they wanted to look encouraging before the actual drama started. Others had different reactions. In an apparent attempt to eclipse Eala's sudden surge in exposure, a few mid-ranked players started aggressively and constantly posting pictures of their own attire, makeup styles, and media appearances. A gamer even wrote, "It takes more than a new look to stay relevant." Once more, no names. However, timing is crucial, and fans were aware of this. Responses like, "She's talking about Alex," flooded the comments right away. "Say her name, please." 100% of this is shade. X, or Twitter, turned into a battlefield. There were parallels everywhere, and sides were being formed. Some supporters vehemently defended Alex. "She deserves to be radiant. Everyone else finds jealousy repulsive, but not her. She draws attention instead of asking for it." Others, however, agreed with her detractors. "She's doing too much, so concentrate on tennis. Her game won't be improved by this attention." It was ridiculous. A straightforward stylistic shift has escalated into a discussion about identity, professionalism, and image in women's sports. However, the players who remained silent had the strongest emotions. Fans kept a careful eye on these. Their stillness was oppressive, like judgment lurking between breaths. Reporters tested the waters that week at news conferences. Have you noticed Alex Eala's new appearance? How do you feel about the attention she's receiving? When new personalities emerge, does the tour change? Some players gave nonspecific responses, such as, "She looks nice." "She makes the decision." Everyone is able to express themselves. But their tones were tight. The Flames was stoked by one response in particular. "All I can hope is that she concentrates on her tennis." It was superfluous, condescending, and contemptuous. The people sensed something greater, which caused fans to erupt. People didn't mind Alex's new appearance because it was daring. People were troubled by it since it symbolized a change, a young celebrity realizing her potential. And the thing that players defend the most is power. Alex's appearance was no longer the question. Why does her self-assurance pose such a danger to the status quo? And the world of tennis was going to find out. The transformation within the tour was even more noticeable than the heated online comments. All of a sudden, Alex became aware of minor shifts that were first imperceptible to anyone familiar with athlete dynamics. The instant she passed, friendly pleasantries turned chilly, smiles in the locker room faded, some athletes stopped making eye contact, and others started mumbling. Dramatic moments are not the only times that tension manifests itself. Silence, isolation, and the feeling that you are suddenly being judged differently are some of the ways it manifests itself. While others retreated behind their fears, Alex had stepped into her confidence. During practice, a few players began making remarks. "She is now overly preoccupied with her appearance. I used to like her more. She's making an effort to be someone she's not." Since jealousy is rarely courageous, nothing was stated directly to her. However, the message was clear. Her unexpected rise in popularity didn't sit well with them. The media's turn in favor of Hillary did not sit well with them. They didn't like that she was gaining power before they were prepared. Because influence equates to power in sports. And everything is altered by power. Before long, Eala was being questioned.